Hello, students, future test takers. My name is Suzanne. I'm a licensed educational psychologist working for SoCal Educational Evaluations. In this video, I'm going to provide some questions and answers for you about getting an evaluation and the process and what's involved, the costs, different things that might help you decide if you should get an evaluation either through myself and SoCal Educational Evaluations or with another psychologist or licensed provider. I am a licensed educational psychologist. That means that I provide evaluations to help students primarily. In this video, I'm going to be providing some answers to questions that you might have about getting an evaluation as an adult for a disability related to getting some testing accommodations, maybe school accommodations. Over the past year and a half, I've helped a lot of students who are either undergraduates in school and have difficulty getting an evaluation through their school or medical provider for getting like extra time on tests, maybe a separate location for testing if they have like ADHD or another disability. I am able to evaluate them for those and then complete their paperwork so that they can submit it to their school or program or test an exam that they're going to take to get into a graduate school kind of program. Even the SAT, I've helped students that are preparing to take AP exams and the SAT that are in high school. So in this video, I'm going to answer a variety of types of questions that you might have. The first one being, if you were an adult and you never were diagnosed in elementary, middle, high school, or even college, and now you're going into a graduate program with a disability. You never had an IEP or a 504 plan. You don't even know what those things are. And, going into this grad school program or taking some timed standardized test, you're studying for it, it's feeling overwhelming. When you take your practice exam, you're not getting through all of the questions in the time allotted that is going to happen when you take that real exam, then it's not too late. Many of the paperwork and applications do ask for if you've already had a disability diagnosed, but it is not a requirement. That is why you can seek out current testing. I have a lot of students that have come to me for a current evaluation with no prior diagnosis. And a lot of the times, maybe you have this reason as well. It's because, they are very intelligent. They got through high school with good grades. And a lot of students that I've tested that are those seniors in college or even graduated in the last year or two, they didn't have to take the SAT because of COVID and changes in application requirements going into their undergraduate college applications. So they don't have that experience. They don't have the history of trying to get accommodations back then. I have another set of clients that I've had to help with getting a current evaluation because maybe their medical provider, will diagnose them with ADHD or their therapist has diagnosed them with an anxiety disorder, but they can't really complete the paperwork for the qualified professional forms because they haven't conducted like a thorough evaluation that can indicate the educational impact. Those are some of the things that a current evaluation with myself or a psychologist that does these kinds of evaluations can help you with. Is it too late for testing? So this is really a personal question on, where you are in your journey of life. I have tested students, if it makes you feel better. I don't know your age, obviously, because we're just on a video here, that I've tested students that are in their 40s. That are going back to law school, or they're taking their physician assistant exam and they've been in school for maybe 5 years and they're in their 40s and they're changing careers. I have plenty of friends, even my husband changed their careers in their 30s. While it is super stressful, and brave and courageous, in my opinion, to change your career after, finishing your undergraduate and maybe working in a field for a few years or even 10 or 15 years. I was a school psychologist in the school environment and only in my mid 40s here changed careers a little bit to start a business. So I don't think it's ever too late, and I think it's really courageous to take that step and go back to school. Is it cheating or cheating the system maybe that some people are getting testing accommodations and things like that by going through this evaluation process? I'm going to go with no, because if you have a disability, getting accommodations just levels the playing field for you versus people that don't have a disability and can process information at a typical rate for their age. Is my testing or any psychologist testing a guarantee that you're going to get testing accommodations? So this is a really good question. I know it's your money. I value your money. I would hope another psychologist would value your hard-earned money as well, or your parents' money. And the simple answer is, if you go through me, I can only test students living in California, but my answer is no, because I'm going to do an intake questionnaire and screening call with you to make sure that you do demonstrate enough symptoms that I think my testing can get a diagnosis out of. And I'll give you advice too. If I don't think that you have enough symptoms, I may share with you my recommendations for next steps, and maybe even just seeking a little bit of therapy or treatment or learning some kind of skill that can help you if I don't think that you have enough symptoms to qualify for a disability that would get you those testing accommodations. If you're a student looking for like LSAT accommodations, that is the large majority of the students that I support with the testing service. I will usually make recommendations for which accommodations I think are appropriate for you, but usually I do ask you to think about, do I need 50% or do I need 100% extra time? Do I want omission of the experimental section? Do I need sit or stand breaks? Do I need breaks between sections? So there's a whole list of different accommodations that you can get on the LSAT or in your law school program or other graduate school program that I'm going to ask your opinion on which accommodations you think are best for you. And then I'll kind of talk to you about it if I think that maybe they're too extreme or I don't think they'll get accepted. But mostly I say just go for it. If I find that you have a disability, I will kind of write to the reasons based on your testing why those accommodations are appropriate. And I've had students always get what we request together, like as a team, accepted. Another question might be, how long does testing take? What does it look like? Well, with myself, testing can take anywhere from just 30 minutes for some types of testing that just require a clinical interview over Zoom. All of my testing is done over Zoom, not in person. So that's why I can test anybody from Southern California through Northern California. My license is only for California residents. So if you go to a school out of state, but you're living, maybe doing your residency or something in California, I can test you, but otherwise only California residents. If you live outside of California, you can definitely go through your healthcare provider or just, Google search, ChatGPT search, psychologist, educational testing, ADHD testing, something like that. And hopefully you'll find some providers near you. So overall, it just depends on what disability I'm looking at, but testing typically takes 30 minutes to about 2 hours, depending on how many tests I have to give. It can be broken up over 2 testing sessions if you just have difficulty sitting still for that long, whatever it takes to help you get that testing done. I also accommodate for weekends and evenings because I know as adult students, you might work, you might go to school already. So I can accommodate for that. We just have to look at our calendars and figure it out. And then how long does it take to get your report back? Well, from myself at SoCal Educational Evaluations, after testing, it usually takes me like 2 to 5 days to get your testing back. If you've just realized that your due date is like in 24 hours and you just found me, I can sometimes get reports done with testing in 24 hours. I do have a little additional fee for, rush service, but, look up your test date and find out when it is so you don't have to feel so stressed out and, have to get that done in 24 hours. I don't encourage it. If you have any more questions that, my website or this video can't answer or hasn't answered yet, I recommend just clicking on the links below in either the descriptions or on my website for a contact form, or it might say intake call questionnaire. Complete those, and I will email or text you to get back to you for scheduling an intake call and hearing about what you need, what kind of testing you might require, and answer any more of your questions about getting testing done for getting some accommodations in either your program or testing accommodations to get into a program. Okay, take care.
This video is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health or medical advice. Use of this video does not establish a therapeutic relationship. Please seek support from a licensed provider if you are experiencing significant emotional or psychological distress.